This tea in the wagon is one that I recorded back in July. The sun was going down by the time we started to record tea in the wagon, and the picture turned out darker than we thought it was going to be, and it's a little bit grainy here and there, but parts of it are much clearer. So sorry for the picture on this episode of Tea in the Wagon. In this one I'm joined by my friend Pamela, and to follow on afterwards there's a flip through of one of my art journals, a trip to a museum in a Tudor building, and some clips of what will be in the next vlog. This is my friend Pamela. Pamela is a folk musician.
I play fingerstyle guitar and sing. And I originally come from the US and have landed in Wales 13 years ago.
She's going to join us for tea in the wagon tonight, but the sun has gone down and it's going dark, so we have to do tea outside the wagon. So first of all we will pick a little angel card. I always do a picking of a little angel card as part of tea in the wagon. Do you want to pick one?
I'd love to pick one. Inspiration.
So welcome to candlelit tea outside the wagon. Last time we had some lovely comments again, really lovely kind comments. Thank you so much everyone that made a lovely comment. And I've written down a handful of comments to read out, as I always do. Like to read some of the comments from where you are and what crafts you like to do, or what crafts you're doing while we're doing tea in the wagon. So if you're new to this YouTube channel, it's a bit of time where we can sit quiet together and craft together. So it's like an online worldwide craft along, if you like, where you can bring along your own craft project, and I've got my craft project and Pamela's got her craft project, and we just have some quiet time together. But I always ask everybody, what kind of craft are you doing if you're joining in with a craft, and what kind of tea are you drinking for tea in the wagon. Tonight Pamela's carding wool, and I've got my drop spindle to spin on. This is a new spindle. It's come all the way from Russia, from Galina at Carry Cherry, and she's got beautiful spindles, and this is a really nice spindle because you can pop off the top, and it's a little tiny bobbin, so you can take off the bobbins, and I've spun a couple of bobbins already, and I've got an empty bobbin to pop back on to spin on in a bit.
Can I have to sniff it. It looks just like the wood has a
Yeah, it's nice.
Yeah, it smells really good.
And yeah, so I've spun a couple of bobbins already, and then I can ply them. It's actually also got a plying bobbin as well, which I might have with me. Let's have a look. I have. This is the plying bobbin, so it's double the size pretty much of the spinning bobbins, and then I can ply them onto there, which I haven't plied anything onto it yet, but Elfin's had a little spin on it because you can spin on it as well, and she's done some spinning on it. Yeah, so that's the craft I've got today. So I'll read out some of your lovely comments, and do you want to take it in turns or read out the comments?
Sure.
Maxine in New Zealand has commented to say a lovely message, that it's just been the winter solstice there. So she, on the last crafting tea in the wagon, she was cosy by the fire drinking rosebud tea and needle felting on a dress she's renovating.
Claire Smith in South Africa has been spinning yarn while watching and enjoys slow stitching and making journals. Elfie is amazing. She is. We just went for a walk with Elfie. She is amazing. The elves.
Stick to your knitting says they have American blackcurrant shrubs in the meadow, Do I pick the leaves and dry them before making tea? So I think that's must have been what I was drinking in the last tea in the wagon. I think I must have made some blackcurrant leaf tea. I just pick them fresh and make the tea. But I'm sure there would be no reason why you couldn't dry them. I actually always intend to try drying them for winter time, so that I can still drink blackcurrant leaf tea. But I tend to take such a lot during summer, then I try and leave the rest of the leaves on the plant. So I haven't actually dried any before, but I don't see why you couldn't dry them. But you can just drink it fresh. I just make it with the fresh leaves, just like I'd make a peppermint tea with the fresh peppermint from the garden. Yeah.
I recently just dried some blackcurrant leaves, so I
right.
haven't given
Have
it
you
a
done
go.
it before?
I haven't tasted it. No, I've
okay.
drunken the French ones, the fresh ones, but I've saved some for the winter.
Oh, you have to let us know what it's like. I wonder if it would probably taste different, wouldn't it, than doing it fresh?
It's like taking summer and put it in a leaf, dried leaf, save it for the winter when you're feeling under the weather. Jen in the hills of Northern California. Ooh, I wonder where in Northern California. I've been there to Northern California, loved it. Jen in the hills of Northern California is slow weaving and spinning and enjoying seeing Elfin grow and her arts and crafts. Thank you for lovely...
Oh yeah, thank you for your lovely message.
Thank you for your lovely message.
I think that's my note. Do you know, I wrote out these a little while ago because I was going to do tea in the wagon a little while ago and I wasn't feeling well, so I ended up postponing it. So I think I've put that note there to say thank you for your lovely message. We got a comment from someone in Crete who's asked for advice on slow stitching. So last time I was doing slow stitching as my craft during tea in the wagon. For slow stitching, you can do anything you like. It's basically a term that means to sit quiet and do something. It's more like meditational, so it's just not rushing. It can be any type of stitching, you know, it could be cross stitch, it could be hand sewing something, repairing something, you could be doing sashiko. Is it sashiko or shasiko? No, sashiko. You could be doing sashiko. You could be doing that. You could be doing embroidery. It could be anything you like. It's just to sit and not rush through something to get it done, basically. So what I was slow stitching was I just got some scraps of fabric and I'd got a piece of fabric as a base and I was patchworking onto it. My mum showed me this when I was a child, like crazy patchwork. So we were doing all kinds of shapes then. But I was doing mostly squares and rectangles and stuff for the one that I was doing last time, and just patchworking onto a base fabric. And I was just stitching around the edge of each patch and then doing a running stitch like the Kantha style, like the Indian style quilting, just a running stitch through the 2 layers of fabric without any wadding in between. So yeah, you can do any kind of stitching you like, and it's just taking some quiet time to stitch as more of a meditational kind of practice. And said that they are making a crochet curtain inspired by my wagon curtain. So that must be off the video that I did some years ago. I made a curtain for the caravan from a baton of wood, and then I hand spun yarn lengths to make like a bead curtain, but it was just yarn, just lengths of yarn. So I'll put a link to that video in the description if you'd like to see that, how I made the curtain. So that's really nice. I'm glad you're enjoying making the project. And is reading Cuddy by Benjamin Myers, which is about St. Cuthbert. So if you'd like to write in with what you're crafting or what kind of tea you've got, that was something I've usually include, as well as what book I'm reading. but we're kind of rushing this one this time just to be able to get a new video out there, because it's been so long since I've been able to put a video out. So I don't have a book with me this time.
Catherine Bissett in New Zealand is spinning some Gotland wool to weave.
Yeah,
You love Gotland.
Yeah, it's beautiful.
Lovely message. Lovely to hear from you.
Yeah, thank you. Catherine is Irish but living in New Zealand. Audrey Littlewood is in New Zealand. Thank you for your lovely message. And is spinning a fleece from a wool festival. Spiritual Fusion 2040 in Birmingham, England, sent a lovely message and has been watching while recovering and loves herbal teas and grows peppermint, nettle, chamomile, sage and lavender. Has just started fleece dyeing and weaving since getting stronger. So thank you for the lovely message you sent and well wishes to you.
Janinowarinski Sky 6698. Another really lovely message. Thank you. Missing seeing Elfin. Glad to see crafts being kept going. And loves the hand dyeing videos. And is recovering from a stroke, needing lots of rest.
I'm so glad these videos have brought you some comfort, and well wishes to you as well, and thank you for your message. Elfin will join us for tea in the wagon sometime. Yeah, she's we've both got children, so Pamela's got Elvin and I've got Elfin, and well, me and Luke have got Elfin. Pamela and Avian have got Elvin, and so they're playing, the elves are playing together inside the cottage. So yeah, Elfin will join for a tea in the wagon definitely soon. Oh, and everyone who asked for the Pakora recipe from the last video, I've put it into the video description this time for you. Kathy in New Mexico has asked me to share how I do time management. I want to talk about that for a bit longer, so I'm going to put that into the next video and make a little feature on time management, so I can share about what I do to be productive and how I get so many things made. So I'll do something on that on the next video so that I can spend more time on it. I'll add that into the next one. Please feel free to write in the comments if you want to tell what you've been making or what you like to make. If you're not making anything while watching this, then what kind of crafts do you like to do, and what's your favourite kind of tea that you like to make, or coffee? Have you got the same as me? It's the roots of the dandelion plant, and they've been dried and then roasted, and then you just boil it up in water, and then I've added some milk. It's really nice. It's actually my favourite drink, I think, dandelion coffee.
You've converted me. It's delicious.
And I've got some, what have I done with my spindle?
Oh, this one?
Oh, that's the one. I've got some in my own roll like to spin tonight. These ones are called Old Rug because they reminded me of an old rug because they look like faded colours of the plant dyed rugs. So now we can have some quiet time if you want to join us. I don't know if you can hear the cows. We'll have some kind of quiet time doing some craft for a little bit, and it looks really dark on the screen. I might be able to lighten it up afterwards, but when I edit it, it's actually lighter than it looks on screen. Please like and subscribe if you like the video, and you can click the notification bell if you'd like to know when our next videos come out. I think Maxine said last time that she'd really like to see inside the journals, so I'm going to put at the end of Tea in the Wagon today, I'm going to put a flip through of the journal that I've just finished. I'll put a link in the description to Pamela's work. so that you can, if you'd like to hear her music that she writes beautiful songs and plays beautiful music. And also she's created a stunning animation called Pipkin. If you're on Patreon, you'll have already seen Pipkin because I've shared it on there in the past. So I'll put a link in the description on here. It's on YouTube, and there's also the Welsh version, Hadkin. And it's a beautiful song that Pamela wrote, and she sung and played it for the video. She's made all they're needle felted, aren't they? She made all the little parts to the animation. Do you want to share what it's about?
Pipkin is a sycamore seed, and it gets swept up by the wind and goes traveling and then lands at the base of a tree and sprouts and finds his home. He comes out of the earth and is guided by the seed pod queen right to his door, where will be his home. And then he starts plucking the harp, and from the harp flies out more seeds, and then they fly into the wind and become other pipkins. So it's the cycle of life and seasons and journeys and finding where you belong. Yeah.
It's beautiful. I'd recommend watching Pipkin.
Thank you so much for sharing that. It's really nice of you.
You're welcome. I think the world should see Pipkin. It's so lovely.
I did it while I was pregnant, and the last scene, I was 2 weeks late, and it seemed like in order for my son to be born, the Pipkin had to walk through the door. And as soon as we animated that part, I gave birth. Not immediately, but within the day or two. So, yeah. Mama's making art and Mama's making babies. It's always a dance.
Me and Pamela met when our babies were Elfin about 4 months, I think, and so Elvin must have been a month. Is that right? Is it October?
Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, Elvin must have been 1 month. Although that would make it autumn, wouldn't it? I don't know. Maybe Elfin was older than I thought she was then. Because I thought it was summertime.
I think it is summertime, but sometimes September could feel like summer too.
Yeah, they must have been older then. But yeah, we met when our children were babies, and we'd heard that we'd both got elves, and they actually had the same last name as well. So yeah, we had to meet.
The elves met.
Oh, it's so peaceful being out here when the sun's gone down.
Yeah, it's warm too.
Yeah.
The candles, you can feel quite a lot of heat.
Yeah.
Radiating from them.
It is actually starting to go a little bit dark now.
Yeah, I like the idea of using your other senses. Carding in the dark, and you can hear the sounds more. Everything sort of comes out. Different senses are awakened at night. You need a little bit of smell-o-vision too, because the smell is coming from the wool and the beeswax candle and the lovely dandelion coffee.
I love the smell
and
of
you
wool.
Smell really good too.
Do I?
I think I always say that every time I see you. Like, you smell really good.
It's probably patchouli.
I love patchouli.
We're late getting this film tonight because we've been at the Stone Circle, and we were there a lot longer than we thought we were. So as we were coming back, the sun was starting to set. So yeah, that's why we've hurried to get out to the wagon. But it was too dark inside the wagon, which is why we sat outside. And now it's almost too dark outside the wagon. Almost, not quite.
A little light on the subject.
And and make sure we don't set fire to ourselves.
It's kind of like the
Actually,
vampire
that's
lighting when you have.
Maybe I could hold it there for a bit. Yeah. So hey, maybe we could film tomorrow if we go to the Blists Hill. We're thinking of going to Blists Hill Victorian Museum. There's houses and streets, I think. Is that right? Yeah.
Yeah.
Is it like
it's
the
wonderful.
Black Country Museum?
I've never been to that.
And maybe we could record some.
That would be
record
great.
some
Yeah.
of-
There was one
record some of
particular
the-
house that I think would be perfect for this if they let us do something in there.
Yeah.
Yeah. I won't give out the information. It'll be a mystery.
We're planning in the future to do some artwork together, to work on an exhibition in the future. It's going to be a long project over a long time, making pieces that tell old Welsh stories, and I think we were going to do any others, like maybe some Scottish stories or different things, or it might just be Welsh. You're not sure. It might just be Welsh.
We were also talking about stories that come out of us as well,
Yeah,
through dreams and through working together and going on adventures.
yeah,
And,
yeah. We'll tell the
all
story
a
through our
seed right now.
creations. It is, yeah, yeah. So it'd be really nice in the future
it'd be great to
tour
sing
it.
together too. Yeah.
Yeah, story
And then we get the
songs.
elves to sing as well. It could be a 4-part
Yeah.
extravaganza.
We're going to find lots of old spinning and weaving songs and things like that, crafting songs. Yeah, so we'll fill you in on more about that someday in the future. And we've done some more planning on it, and one day we'll be able to tour our exhibition.
Oh, that's so great.
Yeah, we should go back in now. Well, maybe we won't go back in now, but we'll stop recording now because it's really nice sitting out. But yeah, maybe we'll stop recording now because it is getting very dark.
Yes.
And yeah, that was a good idea, putting the candle in front because it's more visible. Yeah.
My Aunt Gigi used to do this when I was a
yeah,
kid,
I've
and
seen
I used to
people do
think,
that.
wow.
Does it hurt?
No. I just was like, wow. I thought it was magic. My Aunt Gigi's another crafter. Oh, she's amazing.
Oh, what does she make?
Everything. She made my wedding dress. Showed her a picture of a Waterhouse painting and with a woman with this beautiful dress, and then I showed her a picture of, I think it was one of those Jane Austen films. It's on YouTube because she filmed the making of, and she just whipped it up, and it had crocheted gold collar. Yeah, but she paints, she crochets, she does everything. Makes puppets, makes yeah, she did some fun things when I was growing up too. She made a big Raggedy Ann and Andy. She doesn't remember this, but it was this huge Raggedy Ann and Andy. I don't know if you know who that is. It's
No.
like these dolls
Do you mean
that
Andy
you get in
Pandy?
America.
No, not Andy Pandy, no.
No. It's just a sort of traditional American type doll. But I guess there was like books and things too, and there were big pieces of wood that she painted, and we hung them on my wall. But she doesn't remember doing it. It was massive. Maybe it was huge because I was so small, but yeah, so that was fun. I love that.
So yeah, I think we'll stop recording now and see you at the next one. I'll have put the Pakora recipe into the description for you, or whoever wants it from last time. And I'll put a link to Pamela, and I'll put a link to the curtain, the yarn curtain that I made for the caravan, for if anybody else wants to see that. Yeah, and we'll see you next time, or me and Elfin will see you next time, and yeah, Pamela at another time. It'd be really nice
It'd be fun.
to do another tea in the wagon together. Good night, and see you soon.
so many different interesting displays. Like this thing's all about sewing, and it has loads of different period recreations of things that they would have used in the old times. Like, I don't know what it was, I think it's 1800s, 1900s. But yeah, very interesting.
You like it?
Yeah, it's very interesting.
These are two of the journals that I had in a previous tea in the wagon, the ones that Maxine was asking about. They're both made in the same way. That's how I've bound the sides of them. It's not completely finished. I've still got work to do on the back cover, inside the front covers, like all kinds of things I've still got to do on them, but they're basically mostly done. That's the side of that one. Back, and these are ready for me to start writing in and drawing in and collaging into on some of the pages, but they'll mostly be for writing and drawing, probably putting samples into and things like that. I do lots of journals for the shop as well, but these ones are ones that are made for me to write my ideas in and work in. So I'll show you through this one. This is a piece of driftwood from a Welsh beach. Oh, and this is these two prints are from, in a previous vlog, me and Elfin were making lino prints. Elfin made this moon and I made the TP lino block. Yeah, she was carving blocks as well. I can't remember which vlog that was in, but I'll put a link in the description to that one in case anyone's interested in that. And then I printed some, and Elfin printed some on some handmade paper, and that's what I've put onto the front of these. And this on the side here is actually an old painty cloth. When I'm doing painting, I always keep a piece of cloth or paper next to me to wipe the brush on and get all the last bits of paint out before I wash the brush. And I really like how they turn out. They're always really random little splodges of colour, and so I use those as well in my work. So I'm going to be putting something on the back of the front cover at some point. And a lot of these are pieces of paintings that I've made. And journal papers that I've made that I put into there. And I will, sorry, there's a tractor going past. Be gone in a sec. I will write over the tops of some of these pretty papers. I just like to have nice pretty backgrounds, and on the plain backs of the papers I will either draw or maybe I'll collage onto those and paint onto them and print onto them and things like that. This is also from another vlog. We made some eco-printed papers, and that's one of those, and I'll put a link to that vlog as well in case anybody wants to see the eco bundles being opened. And we did them on the campfire. So I won't go through every page in here because there's a lot of pages. It's a really thick book. I'll just show some of the painted papers. This one was an old paper bag. I've got some hand-dyed papers in here. That's a bit of old pattern book. Yeah, sheet pattern to cut out for making clothes. For anybody who'd like to try making art journals, there is a workshop, a recorded tutorial on Patreon for any of the tiers that are Project Along tiers, and there's other Project Alongs on art journaling too. In our next vlog, I'll be sorting and washing sheep fleeces ready for spinning. Elfin's got a beautiful new weaving that she's made. There's a visit to Butser Ancient Farm, Living Museum and Archaeological Experiment. And I've finished the weaving on the 8 shaft loom and find out what's going on here.